Welcome to part 2 of this dinosaur tutorial. If you haven't already watched part 1, make sure to go watch that now, but otherwise let's get straight into it. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to stuff the dinosaur. So we're going to grab our stuffing and we're just going to start by stuffing the legs. And then we're just going to add stuffing to the body in general. And we'll add more stuffing in a moment, but first we're going to do the next round. Okay, so the next round is a little bit complicated, but basically what we're going to do is we're going to single crochet 6, and then we're going to bring our hook over to the other side and single crochet 4. So it's going to like turn into something like this, and we're going to leave the back open and we'll sew it shut later. So we're going to single crochet 6 first of all. And what we're going to do is we're going to include the stitch the stitch marker is in. We're going to count 1 for that stitch, 2, 3, 4. And that 4th stitch is the one that we're going to bring our hook across to go into. So this stitch here, we're just going to bring our hook across and put it into from the outside. But we need to tighten this first. So bring the hook across, put it in from the outside, and then single crochet. So I'm just going to show you that again. I'm going to bring the hook across to the 4th stitch, put our hook in from the outside, single crochet, and then we'll single crochet in the next 3 stitches. So 1, 2, and 3. So as you can see, we have this gap at the back, which we're going to ignore for now. We'll sew it up later. We'll just add a little bit more stuffing to everything. And we'll add just a little bit more stuffing to the very front. So basically our new round is this little circle here. So we're ignoring this part. I'm just going to focus on this bit here. And for the next round, we're going to do 2 increases. So the increases need to be at the front from now on. So if you need to make adjustments, for example, if your hook is all the way back here due to tension, then you might want to do a few single crochets first and then make sure the 2 increases are at the very front. And then we're going to do 8 single crochets. So for example, if your hook was back here, you could do 2 single crochets, 2 increases, and then 6 single crochets, just to make sure your increases are always at the front. Might be a little bit tricky to get into these stitches, but just try your best. And now we're just going to single crochet for 3 rounds straight. So all the way around 3 times. Okay, so once you've completed those 3 rounds, we're going to move on to round 17, which is 2 single crochets, 3 increases, and then 7 single crochets. So again, for this round, make sure the 3 increases are at the very front of the neck. At this point, I'm just going to add a little bit of stuffing to the neck. And then we're going to move on to the next round, which is single crochet increase times 5, and then 5 single crochets. So the 5 single crochets should be at the back. And then for the next round, we're going to do 8 single crochets, 4 increases, and then another 8 single crochets. Now we are going to single crochet for 2 rounds straight. For the next round, we're going to be doing 2 single crochets and a decrease times by 6. And for the next round, we're going to do single crochet decrease times by 6. Okay, so we're going to stuff the head, and we're also going to add the safety eyes. So the eyes are going to go between rounds 20 and 21, and they're going to be pretty far back on the face. And now we're going to clip them on. And on the other side. Now we're going to add a little bit more stuffing. And we'll just do the final round, which is 6 decreases. So now we are going to leave quite a long tail, because what we're going to be doing is sewing up the head, the back of the body, and any holes between the legs down here. So here's my tail. We'll just pull through, and we'll add some final stuffing to the head. And now we'll grab our yarn needle, and we're going to sew around the top of the head to sew it shut. So we'll go into the first stitch, front loops only, and also the next stitch, pull across, and the next 2 stitches. And now we're going to bring our yarn down to here, so we're just going to go through the head. I'm just going to bring my yarn needle to this point. And then we'll pull the yarn. And now to sew the back shut, we're going to be going across and sort of keep going in a zigzag way. But we want to try and go into each stitch twice. So we'll go across to this stitch first of all. And then back to the original stitch. And then we'll go into the next stitch along, like right here. And then go to this stitch. And we're going to pull. And then we'll go to the stitch on the opposite side. And to the next stitch on the other side. And then we'll go into the next stitch along on this side and into the stitch on the opposite side. Pull. And you might want to neaten it up a little bit by just going back into 1 or 2 stitches. And now we are going to bring our yarn to the bottom of the dinosaur. So you see there's a hole or 2 right here. So we'll bring our yarn needle here, pull the yarn through, and we're just going to make sure these holes are sewed up. Go across to this one. And then to this one here. Sorry, I might go slightly off camera here, just so I can get my yarn needle through. We'll sew this up. And now we're going to bring the yarn needle to a random point on the opposite side of the body so it won't slide out. And we're just going to cut off the yarn. So this is what the dinosaur looks like right now. So now that the dinosaur body is complete, we're going to move on to the tail, which will be our final part of the dinosaur. So we're going to grab our yarn, and for the first round of the tail, we'll be doing 4 single crochets into the magic ring. Then for round 2, we'll be doing single crochet increase times by 2, which will take us to 6 stitches. Then for the next round, we'll do 2 single crochets increase times by 2. Then for the next round, we'll do 4 single crochets increase, 3 single crochets. And then the next round is 4 single crochets increase, and then another 4 single crochets. And then we're just going to leave the tail for sewing and pull through. Now to finish off the dinosaur, we will be sewing the tail on. So we want to sew the tail on with the tail of the tail on the bottom because our increases were up on this side. I'm going to sew it about here. So we'll grab our needle and we will start sewing it on at the back here. And now we'll just bring the tail to a random point in the body and cut it off. And this is your completed dinosaur. I really hope that you enjoyed this tutorial and I hope that your dinosaur turned out adorable. Please make sure to tag me in all your creations so that I can see them over on Instagram at 1centcrochet, and comment below if you have any suggestions for another tutorial that you would like me to make. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!